Right, the most important question of the day. What are you wearing?
I don't know. It looks sick though, right?
It's nice.
Talking to the mic so I can hear you.
Some needles.
Okay.
What would you tell Ryan? Tell Ryan right now, and he said you would pee your pants and you would lay an egg in his window. Well,
I tell him I'll piss on him. I just piss on his face. That's funny. I don't know. If I seen him, I would see how he is and square him, size him up a little bit, see what he's bringing to the table, and that's it.
Let's talk about this upcoming fight, Fortuna. You know, Dominican fighters always bring that awkward style. They come to fight, like Luther was saying.
Yeah.
What do you see in him?
I see he's just a dirty veteran that is gonna know a lot of little tricks up his sleeve. Might try to headbutt me, might try to elbow me. I expect him to try to make it a rough fight. Because I don't think he could throw hands with me. Like, I just don't think he can. But he'll try to rough me up, make it a dirty fight, try to throw me off my game. I just got to not become emotional and just fight. That's it.
Your thoughts on this past weekend? You had
Cambosos
and
I mean, I tweeted about it. Definitely wasn't the most exciting fight, but yet, you know, Devin Haney, congrats to him for winning that fight. He did his thing, but I just didn't see no urgency for them to want to, like, I would say, separate themselves from one another. Like a fight, for example, with Leonard and Hearns. I think it was similar, like Undisputed or something like that. I don't know if it was for all the belt. I don't know how it worked back then, but all I know is they went to 4. You know, they wanted to knock each other out, separate themselves. Like, I'm the best guy here, and I didn't see that. But that's on them. Some people are just happy with, like, let me just get the W. Some people are just different people.
and that's what you told Tank, that when your fights come, that that's what you want from him, because that's what you're gonna.
Yeah,
you're gonna put out.
I expect
he
that.
was like the F you or whatever.
He said F me, and I was just like, okay, well then why are you screaming my name outside your fight, talking about you next. So why should I shut up? You're the one that was talking like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like either you're gonna want to do it or not want to do it. Don't tell me that in a fight when you're fighting in the ring if you're not gonna really be about it. So he can say shut up all he wants. He wants that fight.
Oscar said that all roads lead to you, but prior to that tweet, he said that he felt Haney and Tank was one of the most exciting fights in boxing, not the most exciting. What's your take on that? Just stylistically, that matchup. What would you think, just from the outside looking in as a fan?
What part do you want me to answer on that?
Like Devin.
The tweet or the
both? And the
well, I would say you gotta ask Oscar for the tweet. I don't know why he would tweet that. But what I do know is what I want next is Tank Davis, and that's what I've said before in the past, that I just want that. And you know, why Oscar said that, I don't know. Do you think it's exciting?
I think Tank could bring something extra out of Devin.
Maybe,
yeah.
Possibly. See if that fight.
By the way, Mike Tyson today shared a video where he said, "I'd love to see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia." He said that he said you're a superstar and you're explosive.
Yeah, I think that's what Oscar meant by all roads lead to me, because not that it does, but I know what he means by that. Like, a huge pay-per-view fight would either involve me and somebody else that, you know, and I probably do need a little bit of Tank Davis to make a super mega fight, but I don't have no ego to admit that. Like, I don't care. Like, I know that Tank is a big fighter, and I am as well. So I want that fight. It's a mega fight, and I think whoever wins that fight becomes like the face of boxing.
Right. When is the first time you ever came to Staples Center, even as a kid?
When was the first time that's a question for my mom. Did you take me? You probably never. She only took me to boxing tournaments. She never took me to
Staples Center as a kid.
We went to visit Oscar's statue, right, or something like that, like a long time ago. Yeah.
Now you're headlining here, July 16th.
I know, it's a dream come true. I've lived in Southern California my whole life. The IE from Victorville all the way down to Oxnard. I've been around nonstop, training, sparring. I grew up here. I've seen every style here, and now I'm fighting here. So it's really a dream come true.
Do you see yourself having a statue out here one day if your career goes right?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do that for me, that would be sick. But I got a lot of work to do. But yeah, that would be cool.
Unfortunately, a lot of the work, it has to do with, the promoters and the fractured business of boxing, Taney's title at Top Rank, Gervonta's with PBC and Showtime. Doesn't appear these cross-promotional fights are going to take place, and you've officially reached that point of your career where you're really seeing the fractured politics of boxing. What if Bob Arum and Steven Espinoza and Al Heyman are listening to this? What is your message to them as far as making these big time fights happen?
Well, where there's a will, there's a way. Think of every possibility and just don't be greedy. And I'm sure that both parties could always come up to an agreement if everybody's fair and firm and honorable at the same time. So I say you just have to look at it in all those aspects. Just don't be greedy and be fair but firm, and look at the data to prove your points, prove it, and then we move forward. That's it.
Do you see these as 50-50 fights, or are numbers have to be skewed in other directions?
You just got to look at it, who's the bigger draw, why, and then show the data for it, because numbers don't lie. There's a lot of people saying this guy's bigger than this guy, but really all you have to do is look at the data and what's been shown, and then you go from there and say, well, I deserve 60-40 or I deserve 50-50. And if they can't come to a fair observation, I guess, or if they can't look at the reality of it, that's not my problem.
Can we start asking more questions about this upcoming fight with Fortuna, please? I think we've addressed the whole tape issue.
Ryan, look what you said a few moments ago before you arrived, that you're looking to stay busy this year. Possibly Fortuna by the end of the year to have another fight. Is that your goal? Possibly?
Yeah, because I've always wanted to be an active fighter. A lot of things came in between that, not just this situation when I had to take a step back from mental health, but even before then, there was just a lot of things stopping me. But now I finally feel like I could have more fights. That's what I've always wanted to do. So I'll be looking forward to staying active, even in the following year and then the following year after that. So I really haven't taken any damage in the sport. I feel like I haven't, but yeah, we'll see.
The second training camp you have with Joe Goossen, looking forward for that again. And how's it been, having the chemistry with Joe Goossen this time around?
Same thing, me and Joe just really get along. Whether he was my trainer or not, we just really get along. So hopefully that the improvements show. And throughout, just if you train and you're paying attention and you're attentive to how you box, you should get better. No matter what environment you're in.
You expecting to sell this place out?
I would hope so. I'm gonna do everything in my power to do it, with my platform, with other ways of doing it. And no matter what, I'm building from it. So, really what matters is that I knock this dude out or do something spectacular in the ring, which is a knockout, and then build myself even further from there. I'm still 23. And I have built a huge social media presence, which I do get paid a lot for. But I also want to bring in, a huge fan base, in the physical world. So every step is just to find ways on how to do that, and I will find a way. It just takes trial and error. So this is my first time, I feel like, at a huge arena other than, what's that thing called? Texas. No, not Texas. Nope. Anaheim. Honda Center, which pre-COVID, I did pretty well over there. So I expect to do something well here.
Let's take a question from Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene. Go ahead, Jake.
Thanks. So I appreciate it. I'm on Zoom, Ryan. What's going on, man? So obviously, I know this fight was supposed to happen a year ago. This is a two-part question. One, how much of this is unfinished business for you? And two, how different is the fight now than if it played out this time last year?
Well, Fortuna is making it seem like I ducked him, which is that's a shitty take on his part. And I'm just gonna prove to him that it's nothing scary about you. You could you could tell me I'm scared of you all you want. When I connect, let's see who runs or who's there to fight. If you want to fight, we can fight. But I promise you, when I hit you, you're gonna be the one looking scared.
Very cool. Thanks, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
Cynthia Conte, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Hi, guys. Hi, Ryan. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm at home being a mom, a new mom. But going in with that, Ryan, we saw you with Joe Goosen, obviously, and we saw the partnership evolving. Now that you've already had more sessions with him and one full fight, what have you learned about yourself doing that? And have you been able to take out some of the old habits that you've learned and really thrown them out? Like really focus on and listen to Joe Goosen.
I think more so probably the little details in like a couple like techniques or a couple of defensive things that I may have just not cared about because I was so quick that it just didn't matter if I had my hand up or not. They were gonna get knocked out, similar to like Roy Jones Jr. But I've been just staying honest with myself and saying, you know, there may be another fast guy out there that may counter me off that shot no matter what. So I should, no matter if the guy counters or not, I should probably be careful and be considerate of a return shot. I think that's the main thing I've been focusing on. Other than that, and keeping my chin down. Other than that, I'm pretty solid.
Okay, and another thing is, you know, being a new mom and you're also a father of two now, we've seen that you've really matured, even in just the way you talk and the way you answer. What has fatherhood now brought to you? Because like I've always said in all of our interviews, you've grown into your manhood now.
Well, thank you. All right, how do I answer this? I'm just getting older, I guess. I'm seeing past the bullshit and just looking at the truth of every situation, just being humble and well, not that humble, you know. I still got to flaunt a little bit.
But what have your daughters taught you?
I feel like my daughters have taught me that that I have a responsibility to be a good man, a responsibility to be truthful in every aspect. Because they look up to me and they see me as Superman. So if I'm out there either getting drunk or doing drugs or anything, like, even though I don't do drugs, but I'm saying like it just puts a extra responsibility as a man to be good to even women and everybody around you, and just to hold yourself to a higher standard for your kids and for every other person looking up to me.
Well, good. Well, my son is your daughter's future boyfriend.
Oh, gosh. Oh no, I love him. Dang, I don't know.
He's good, okay? All right.
Okay. All right.
Best of luck to you, Ryan.
Okay.
Any other questions about Fortuna and his training?
Fortuna says he's gonna knock you out. Do you like that? Do you like someone that's gonna bring it and not run on like the last opponent down his bicycle?
Yeah, I'm actually very excited for this fight because I love to be in the pocket. I love to stay right there because I'm just very comfortable just like dodging punches, slipping just staying right there, looking for counters. Not say that I don't mind a guy moving either. I mean, as you see with Campbell, he wasn't moving that much. He was trying to fight too, but takeout, you know, I could go get you if I need to. But I do much prefer a guy trying to win the fight, not just okay with just giving away around. Because if you're running away, I could just back up and let's just not do anything. You know, I could do that if I wanted to, and I think people more so should do that. Say a guy's running and he's having success, why don't you just back up and just let it be boring? You know, we could do that all day. I feel like this guy Fortuna, he's gonna bring that. He's gonna bring that out of me, which I love because that's how boxing is. Hit or not get hit, but you have to engage into a fight.
Any other questions?
Right. You were trying to fight Fortuna a couple months ago. Since then, have you seen anything else from him that you can further capitalize on? What do you think from that point until now?
So I think he's fought JoJo since then, and then some other random dude. Sorry, don't mean to say random dude, but some other fighter that I don't know his name. I just see the same thing I would have seen even when I was gonna fight before he fought JoJo. He's just a very rugged veteran that just looks to just rough you up and try to get his combinations off, right? And I don't know, it's just I know what I'm gonna do to him. Just gonna do it. I see a couple shots that I'm like, I mean, if you keep doing that, it might not be too good for you.
Do you think the result's going to be worse for him now that a year has gone by?
I think same thing. No matter what, he's gonna get caught with the same shot no matter what. It's just gonna happen.
What shot is that?
Shall see.
Yeah, buy a ticket and come watch. And Fortuna's coming off a knockout win also, so he's staying active.
That's a good thing. He did stay active.
It seems to be the best richer part of your career. But right now, ESPN just put out an article saying that Oscar says something along the lines about selling Golden Boy Promotions. Are you aware of that? And what are your thoughts on the potential?
Ask him how much. Maybe we'll buy it.
I didn't know that.
And you didn't know that because he said that today in his interview. So let's not ask Ryan to comment on that. Marcos Villegas, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, hey Ryan, sorry I couldn't be there in person. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Hey, I just want to ask you, Fortuna has been like described as like a very awkward guy, like his style and his timing, the way he throws his punches. Like, do you see him as an awkward fighter, or do you just think that the stuff that he does in the ring is just kind of, I wouldn't even say awkward, but just bad fundamentals?
I think he just created his own style and he just does his thing. I'm not worried about it. I fought a lot of fighters in my amateur career. Now I'm a professional career that you just got to stay calm in the chaos. Whatever he's doing, I just say to myself, stay calm. Everything will open up. He'll get slower. He'll slow down, and real boxing will occur. Yeah, there's no way he could keep that. Or I should start timing them. It doesn't really matter. I'll make my adjustments in the ring, and I'm a much better fighter than them. That I do know.
And my last question for you, Ryan, just want to get your comment on Jojo kind of going at you on social media about this fight. Do you think that's possible that you and him fight by the end of the year, or you're dead set for that Gervonta fight?
I'm pretty sure I want to fight the bigger fighter and the better fighter with Gervonta Davis. I'm not worried about Jojo Diaz.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Javier actually said he had a hurt hand in the Jojo fight. Knowing that information, do you think he looked hurt, or do you think he was not at 100%?
I mean, you could have your hand at 100%. It's not going to change the fact against me. I'm gonna still beat you. So I'm actually happy his hand might be 100%, because now you're gonna be more willing to throw it, and then I could maybe possibly counter you or not. We'll see. So it's actually good. Now he doesn't have no excuse going into this fight. But it didn't look like his hand was hurt in that fight. It just looked like he was tired. That's what I would say.
And speaking of hand, yours is like you're not even thinking about it.
No, you seen me. Oh no, who's seen me spar?
Me.
Oh, yeah. How much am I throwing it?
You look like you were hitting fierce reflex bag. The beautiful thing about the last fight with Tigao, Ryan's hand, the right hand was good. You guys seen him throw that shot.
Yeah.
It's only getting better with each.
Yeah, it still wasn't fully recovered at that time. I was still doing physical therapy every day. But I still threw it and I still was landing it. So I didn't mind. Like, and now it's much better even from there. So my hand's getting better too, Fortuna.
Last question.
What's your message to Javier Fortuna?
Stay off them drugs, man. Just kidding. He's crazy. You should see the stuff he writes me. Personally, he's crazy.
He's in the DM?
Yeah, he's in my DM just going off on me.
What's he saying?
You answer him?
No, I don't answer him.
He just messaged
Yeah, I was just like, what is your Spanish and English? It's like he goes English and Spanish same time. I'm like, he just calls me a coward and this and that. I'm like, I'm fighting you. How am I a coward? I'm here. Let's go. Probably from the.
Is that pretty common? Devin was saying, Cambosis was saying Devin was in his DM. Like, do fighters just DM each other all day? Like
honestly, I've never experienced that ever in my life. I was just like, why is he DMing me? I was like, should I respond? Or just like,
how illogical is that though? He's saying you're a coward. It's like, wait a minute. I'm Ryan Garcia. I could have fought you or 20 other guys. I picked you. So how is that a coward? you. I
Yeah.
want to fight you.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, but again, let's go. It's a fight. We're doing it, right?
Thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone on the call. Thank you.
David, no questions, man. You never ask no questions.
Ask one question before we leave.
What about the salad, man? What about the salad?
What's that? Oh, yeah, the salad?
Momentum wise, does that help you for when you?
Que si puedes hablar sobre cómo te sientes después de tu última victoria, si eso te da como, how do you say momentum? Como movimiento para esta pelea.
Sí, me siento muy bueno. Buenas tardes a todos, muchas bendiciones. Y gracias a Dios por meterme a esta conferencia de prensa con ustedes. Me siento bien, gracias a Dios, me siento excelente, estoy entrenando 100% para mi próxima pelea contra Ryan Garcia.
Si puedes describir cómo, si la pelea, tu victoria previa afecta como tus pensamientos sobre esta pelea que vas a enfrentar. Frankie, you can sit
No, simplemente yo estoy entrenando por una pelea. La victoria que pasó anterior son otros entrenamientos, son otro capítulo aparte. Este es otro aparte también.
Okay, so he says he feels really good about this fight. He feels 100%. Thank God he feels really good. He says that the fight before has nothing to do with how he feels about the fight with Ryan. Next question.
What can we expect of him against Ryan?
¿Qué podemos esperar de ti contra Ryan?
Me estoy preparando súper bien. Yo no quiero ningún tipo de excusa con él. De hace tiempo él ve que yo vengo buscando esa pelea. No es que él la viene buscando ni su equipo tampoco. Soy yo que la vengo buscando. Ya que la WBC la ordenó y él echó para atrás. Soy yo que la vengo buscando. Esperen buena pelea, buen resultado. Yo se la voy a noquear delante de su gente.
He says that he's prepared really well for this fight, that he's been looking to fight Ryan, and you can expect a really good fight and a knockout from him.
How are you going to deal with Ryan's speed and power?
Que cómo vas a hacer con el poder y la rapidez de Ryan en el ring.
La rapidez se quita. Eso es lo más fácil de quitarle a un boxeador, la rapidez. ¿Entiendes? Y yo tengo más experiencia que él, sé cómo hacerlo. Y yo le voy a ganar a él y a su equipo. Y yo hoy yo no estoy allá presente junto con él en la conferencia de prensa. No es porque porque miedo ni nada, sino que estoy entrenando 100% para yo ganar esa pelea a él.
He says that speed goes away, that he has the experience to make him do that, and he will win against him on his team, and that he's not here at this press conference physically because he's taking this fight 100% seriously. So that's why he's not here today. Any other questions?
Would he like to fight Devin Haney? And if he did, how would that fight look like?
¿Te gustaría pelear contra Devin Haney? Y si en caso, ¿cómo saldría esa pelea contra ti?
Cada quien jala para su lado. Me gustaría pelear no solamente con él, con cualquiera de los 135 que están en el momento ahora, actual, campeones o no campeones, pero que estén actual entre los primeros 10. Y claro, cada cual jala por su lado. A mí me gustaría ganar.
He says that, he would fight anyone at 135, whether they're a champion or in the top 10. That's something that he would like to do. It doesn't matter, he would win. That's what he says.
In his, the last time he was fighting in Los Angeles, he actually fought Ryan's replacement opponent, Jojo Diaz. What does he think went wrong in that fight? Considering it was competitive, but he lost.
Dice que la última vez que ibas a pelear contra Ryan, desafortunadamente esa pelea no se dio, pero peleaste contra Jojo Diaz. ¿Qué crees que fue lo que te faltó en esa pelea contra Jojo?
Me faltó, todo el mundo sabía, o sea, no todo el mundo, porque se lo supo, yo tenía ese dedo facturado 2 semanas antes y no quería desaprovechar esa oportunidad. ¿entiendes? Y me arriesgué, me fui allá y vieron el espectáculo que di. Simplemente que su equipo y su promotores, su gente llevaron su enlace ejecutado y me querían sacar de la jugada. Pero aquí estoy nuevamente. Gracias a Dios.
¿Qué tenías fracturado?
Que tenía mis dedos, el dedo de la mano derecha, fracturado.
¿Cuál
Y aún
dedo?
así, el de la mano. Y aún así, para mí, yo creo que yo gané la pelea. Simplemente que esa tarjeta que hicieron, que dieron a demostrar y estaban hechas.
He says that he had fractured his finger on his right hand, but he hasn't said which finger. He didn't want to lose the opportunity to fight JoJo, so he went ahead with the fight, and that you all saw the great spectacle of a fight that was, even though he was injured. But he feels that JoJo had his team and had their plan, and they executed what wanted to happen.
So he had the injury going into the fight.
He had the injury going into the fight.
Got it. How does he, considering he was supposed to fight Ryan last year, what is his opinion of Ryan's break, the mental health break? What was his assessment of Ryan's situation over the last year for him to wait and still get the fight at the end?
Dice que cuál es tu opinión sobre Ryan y su decisión de salir de la pelea para enfocarse en sus problemas mentales. Que qué es tu opinión sobre cuando, cuál es tu opinión sobre él, que lo que ha pasado en este año con Ryan y todavía tener la oportunidad de pelear contra él otra vez.
Yo aún no lo creo que él vaya a pelear. Yo voy a estar entrenando 100%. Cuando yo vaya en el segundo round ahí, quiero volver al 100% en esa pelea, que esté junto a él ahí. Como sale con tantas cosas que no se saben quién cree.
Sí, pero ¿cuál es tu opinión de que todavía vas a pelear contra Ryan después de todo lo que pasó?
Oh, yo me sentí que me dieron esa noticia, me sentí súper bien. Dije, bueno, vamos por encima y la acepté de una vez.
Well, his answer wasn't very clear, but he says he's always 100% training and always in shape. He feels really good about this fight, and he feels very happy that this opportunity came back to him.
If Ryan was right here right now,
si Ryan estuviera aquí en este momento, ¿qué le dijeras?
Que yo le dije, bueno, yo le diría ahora mismo que si yo estuviera allá, estuviera miándose en los pantalones del miedo, o estuviera inverso, estuviera tirando huevos, porque es lo que es un pato.
¿Puedes repetirlo una vez más, por favor?
Que si yo estuviera allá ahora mismo con él, frente a frente, de cara a cara, yo estuviera miándose del miedo, o estuviera tirando huevos, porque es lo que es un pato.
Okay, said that if Ryan was here right now in front of him, that Ryan would pee himself because he's afraid of him. And, or I guess it's a saying in something about laying an egg because he's a duck. Is there like a reference about the duck?
Yeah.
What's the reference with the duck?
Scary.
Okay, so he's a duck. He's ducking, basically.
He said he's taking this fight seriously, which is why he's not here. It seems like Ryan is always looking for the big fight, Gervonta, Devin, Loma, all those guys. Does he think Ryan is taking him seriously, or is he overlooking him? What does he think?
Dice que Ryan siempre pide peleas grandes y está pidiendo peleas con otros peleadores, que si tú crees que te está tomando en serio o no te está poniendo en mente que tienen una pelea.
Ojalá que te esté tomando en serio. Porque en él no se puede creer muchas cosas. Ojalá que él lo esté tomando en serio, ¿me entiendes? Porque yo se estoy tomando en serio.
He hopes that he's taking him seriously. He really does hope because he's taking this fight super seriously and he doesn't know what's waiting for him.
Who does he think is the best 135-pound fighter in the world right now?
¿Quién crees que es el mejor peleador en las 135 libras?
Para mí no es mejor, todos son buenos. Para mí yo estoy siendo el mejor. Simplemente que me den la oportunidad. Todos son
Quizás-
buenos, todos están en la paleta, todos quieren llegar a ser campeón y conquistar los 4 títulos. Que me den la oportunidad nada más.
He says that everyone's good. Everyone's good, but he's the best. He just needs the opportunity. Any other questions?
What was his opinion of Ryan's last fight against To Go?
¿Cuál es tu opinión de la última pelea de Ryan contra To Go?
Se vio feísimo, mira, le llegó por decisión y cada bolsa hace su refuego para llegar a decisión en cualquier tipo de pelea que esté peleando como un grande. Y él no es grande. A él lo tienen como grande, pero él no cabe entre los grandes. A él lo han llevado ahí, su padrinaje lo han llevado ahí, pero él no tiene la capacidad, no tiene el voceo, no tiene no tiene el talento vocístico para estar en ese renglón donde lo tienen a él ahora. Pero se vio bien, se vio bien. Esperemos que venga preparado, venga igual o mejor de ahí preparado para pelear conmigo el 16 de julio.
He says that Ryan looked good, but that Ryan is not as big as what everyone makes him to be. That Ryan doesn't have the capacity, he doesn't have the talent, and that he hopes that like any other questions? ¿Qué te hace a ti un gran peleador?
Yo estoy demostrado ya en el mundo entero. Todo el mundo sabe mi capacidad vocítica. Todo el mundo sabe mi capacidad dentro de un ring. ¿Entiendes? Ustedes bien lo han visto, todo. Y no me doy el argumento de decir que yo soy mejor, que soy grande. Eso no, que lo diga el público, que lo diga mi demostración sola.
He says he has the capacity, he has the best capacity, and that everyone has seen it, and that he's not saying that he's the best, but the public will say that he's the best.
How does he plan on, he says he predicts a knockout versus Ryan. How does he plan on going about it? Does he plan on starting fast? Do you plan on throwing hard punches from the gate? What's your plan to knock Ryan out, seeming that no one's been able to do it yet?
Dices que vienes a esta pelea para noquear a Ryan. ¿Cuál es tu plan para hacer eso? ¿Vas a empezar rápido? ¿Vas a usar tu poder en el principio? ¿Cuál es tu plan para poder noquear a un peleador que nadie lo ha noqueado?
Mi poder ustedes lo saben, y yo también. O sea, ustedes no lo saben, ustedes lo ven, y yo se lo he demostrado que lo tengo. El plan se va a desarrollar en la pelea. Claro, verán, voy a arrancar de la cabeza ya vivo en su casa. Y del colmo le voy a regalar un pato, pero varón, no una pata.
Says that you have seen his power, but that he's not going to reveal his plan, and that he's going to beat Ryan in his own house.
We perhaps rephrase the original question I asked that he didn't really answer. Like, what is his just opinion of Ryan's like break, considering he canceled the first fight?
Okay. Quieren que des tu opinión sobre el tiempo que tomó Ryan antes de pelear contigo la primera vez. ¿Cuál es tu opinión que él tomó tiempo para sus problemas mentales?
Él no está nada de problemas mentales, porque después de ahí a la semana de decir que la pelea, que él dijo que estaba mal mental, a él lo vieron por ahí vacilando con su mujer. Que la mujer de él se le fue porque él no daba la talla para ella. ¿Entiendes? Así que él nunca tuvo mal de la mente.
Okay, so he says that Ryan doesn't have any mental health issues, that the same week that he announced he had mental health issues, apparently he was like messing around with his girlfriend or something. There was something going on, and then he said something about his girlfriend, but I wasn't quite sure what he said.
He said that she left him or something, but might as well ask him.
¿Puedes clarificar lo que dijiste de la novia o la mujer de Ryan?
Que la mujer se le fue a él.
That his wife or his
Porque él
girlfriend,
no daba la talla para ella.
because he
Como hombre.
doesn't measure up for her as a man. Any other questions? Okay, go ahead.
Javier, you're planning on being aggressive with Ryan, but how do you fight him aggressively without exposing yourself? We saw Rolly Romero, an aggressive fighter last week, attacking what is a counter puncher like Ryan and Tank Davis. He jumped in, he got caught with the left hand, he went to sleep. How do you avoid that happening to you versus Ryan?
Okay, can you repeat the question, but in two parts, because I have to translate.
Okay.
Okay, first part.
Last weekend, we saw an aggressive fighter versus a counter puncher in Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis. Rolly jumped in, he got countered, he went to sleep. How do you avoid that versus Ryan?
Okay, quiere hablar sobre como lo agresivo que tiene que ser un peleador en el ring. Está dando como referencia a la pelea contra Rolly y contra Tank. Dice que Rolly empezó fuerte, pero Tank pudo contradecirlo en la pelea. ¿Qué es tu plan y tu opinión sobre eso como peleador?
Bueno, yo desde un principio que vi la pelea como empezó, Rolly nunca había empezado así. Empezaba un poquito agresivo en una pelea, pero no empezaba así tan agresivo como empezó con Tank. Y yo de un momento dije que él no iba a aguantar esa presión, no iba a aguantar esa agresividad todo el tiempo para abajo de los asaltos. Le dije a un grupo de compañeros que estaban mirando la pelea, hasta que sucedió y vino un knockout, fue, le iba asalto por asalto, le iba bajando y se le iba viendo que se iba bajando la velocidad.
He said that he didn't think Rolly was that as aggressive like in the beginning of the fight. He didn't think he was like aggressive enough. And he knew that he wasn't even going to sustain that pressure. So next part of your question.
So how do you attack Ryan with aggression without exposing yourself to a left hand counter?
Dice que para Ryan, ¿cómo vas a prevenir que Ryan te ataque después de que tú le pongas presión? Especialmente con la izquierda.
No, ahí arriba del ring, el de la pelea, se va a ver el desarrollamiento de lo que yo lo voy a hacer y cómo lo voy a hacer.
Says in the ring, you will see what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. Anybody else? No? Okay. Hold on one second. Anybody from the audience want to ask a question? Can you raise your hand? Guess not. Okay. Bueno, Javier, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Apreciamos tu tiempo y hablamos pronto.
Ok, Ryan Garcia, que no se raje a última hora.
Okay,
que se ponga los pantaloncillos.
Hay otra última pregunta. ¿En dónde estás entrenando?
En Puerto Rico.
It's in Puerto Rico. That's it? Okay. Okay. Gracias, Javier, por tu tiempo.
Gracias a ustedes. Gracias a ustedes.
Adiós.